Okay, welcome to the Doing It With Purpose podcast, where I am your host, Cornelius T. Summers, aka Lil Cuddy, and of course we have my counterpart, other co-host, Greg Peterson, aka the Deke. And as you can see behind me, I have a blank wall, but today's episode is not blank. It's going to be full of impactful information, the history of a special guest that we have. I think Greg said he coached this young man way back when, and so
we ain't got to get no ages, man. They don't want to know how old I am, man.
Greg does have a positive impact for those who felt like I never had anything positive to say about him. But today we want to welcome to the show Dr. Rivers Bedenbaugh from RCVR, and I'm gonna let him tell us a little bit what's that about. But Greg, tell us a little bit about Dr. Rivers here, man.
Man, Dr. Rivers, man. I actually coached him in Little League football, man, and he came up. He was pretty much like all the Little League players, man, down there, man. Pretty much he was a dog, man. He wanted to get in there and mix it up with everybody, man. And Rivers just, he did his thing. And I really was thinking he went to Batesburg, Leesville, but he actually didn't go to Batesburg. He went to Lexington, and then he moved on and went to Georgia Southern and ended up playing for Carolina, man.
That's right.
But right now, man, he has a just modern day wellness center right here in Gilbert, South Carolina. So you don't have to go way to Columbia, way to Augusta, Aiken, man. And he's doing everything right here, man, to make sure that you're being the best you that you can be. And with that said, man, I'm just going to hand it over to Rivers. Well, not Rivers, but Dr. Rivers Bedenbaugh, man. Just tell us a little bit about yourself, Rivers.
Yeah, man. First of all, I appreciate y'all coming out.
Yes, sir.
I really do.
Yes, sir.
And what y'all are doing for the community, and especially for a lot of the young people, man, it's really awesome.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I really do believe that. You're giving them a platform, a voice, and a way to spotlight all the good in the community.
Oh, yeah.
Y'all know as well as I do, guys. You turn on the news all the time. Social media is negative. And you guys, I feel like, are such a bright spot.
Thank you.
Really, with what y'all are doing. So a lot of respect for y'all.
Oh, yeah.
Just going, I'll hit on some stuff, but going back to the Brody Road stuff, man, that's a conversation I have a lot with people too, right? You had to be a different breed to play football there.
Much, man.
Now, I did go to Batesburg up until my senior year, transferred to Lexington. And when I did, a funny story really quick, we would, you would get out the cars, your parents would take you to the game. You'd get out the car, you'd have your gear on, and some of those kids or guys at Lexington, whenever we played, they were like, man, we were so scared when we played Batesburg, and y'all got out of y'all's cars, and y'all had the gold chip paint. Yeah. The paint was chipped on the helmets, They were like, we knew then these guys hit. And, dude, as well as I mean, that's what it was. Played under OJ. Rest in peace, OJ, man. Marcus, yourself, and Bird, a couple of those other guys, man. And, Guy, I know everybody says it because those Brody Road teams were unbelievable, but we had so many good athletes, man. So many good athletes across the board.
Yeah. So do you remember how many games you lost?
It was one. One in, I think I played there in third grade, played up until I could play B team, and we lost one game, and it was at Pineville. And that
Coach
was
Charlie.
It. I'm not sure who it was, but it was Pineville. And they came down to Brody Road and they beat us. And listen, getting back in the Little League stuff, I think with some officiating going on there. We'll leave it at that. But no, man, we'd go up to Greenville and play tournament and stuff and do all that. Yeah, one game in 5 or 6 years, man, playing there. And it was just, you had to be different, man.
You did.
You had to be different. But that, for me, laid the foundation for football as to, hey, this is how the game has to be played.
Oh, yeah.
There's no other way to play it but with that physicality and that hard-nosed, just mentality. It helped, too. I got raised around a bunch of older cousins, and, man, I was the youngest one around and just beat me up all the time. But, yeah, man, that was such an instrumental, and all you guys had such an impact. I don't think you realize what coaches, the kind of impact you do have on kids. But, man, I do. I remember and appreciate a lot of what I learned and just being around y'all. So, that's another thank you too, Greg.
Oh, yeah.
Mr. Greg, I appreciate it. But, yeah, man, ended up, going to University of South Carolina, played there, and we'll hit on that too. But while I was there, I majored in exercise science, minored in some cardiovascular nutrition. But long story short, thought I wanted to go to dental school. My last semester of undergrad, I'd taken all my classes because we had to take summer classes, So I did all that. My last semester of undergrad was an internship. I did it with a dentist who's local in Lexington. I was there probably 2 weeks, and I was like, maybe this isn't what I want to do for the rest of my life, you know? So I ended up pivoting kind of late in the whole, you know, trajectory, if you want to call it that. But life always works out, man.
Oh yeah.
Timeline of life always works out.
God's plan.
It does.
God's
I agree.
plan.
I agree with that, man. So, you know, I pivoted. We had a chiropractor who traveled with the football team. I've always been under chiropractic care. So, and I was under his care while I was playing football there. He said, have you ever thought about being a chiropractor? At the time, I was leaning toward physical therapy because a lot of what we do here, as you know, Mr. Greg, is kind of an integrated practice. We do a lot of physical therapy stuff too, a lot of components of it. It's not just your typical snap, crackle, and pop chiropractic. And that's something that, you know, makes us stand out. But he said, have you ever thought about being a chiropractor? And I said, no, I haven't. So I started shadowing him, thinking about it. Man, I was like, I can own my own business. I can do things the way that, you know, my vision for it, and still impact and help people in a different way. Went to Sherman College up in Spartanburg, graduated there from 2021. Did an associateship for a few months, and then I went down to Batesburg. I worked out of B&L Spine, Dr. Lybrand's office there. Very appreciative of my time there, man. Just taught me a lot about myself and growing a business. You know, I went there, had 0 patients on the books. You know, I would text my wife, and she would feel so bad for me, y'all, because I would sit there and just stare at the window, hoping the car would pull up to see me, you know. I mean, we didn't have any, you know, just the money that I would make in a week was hardly nothing, man. And it was like that for the first 6 to 8 months, and then it slowly picked up. But man, was there 3 years, just putting in the time and the effort and the grind of just growing a business and growing it organically. That was the biggest thing for me, because I think the biggest thing about business and life in general, guys, you know, probably agree with this for sure, is relationships, man. That is the most important thing. And I feel like we all have the ability to reach and connect with people, and it doesn't matter old, young, you know, different races, different genders. We all have the ability to connect. At the end of the day, we're all human, man. So the ability for you to give that kind of what word am I looking for? Maybe impact, or just, you know, a simple, hey, how you doing, with a smile on your face. You never know what people are going through. So I look at it as a chance to impact everybody who comes through these doors, and I don't do it the best of my ability every day. But I try to remind myself, hey, this could be someone's 30 minutes to, you know, erase or help forget or just deal with something they're dealing with in life. So that was a big thing when we were creating this business. You know, we wanted to think about everybody. I mean, we do kind of tailor towards athletes, especially the modern day stuff. I mean, so with all that, you know, I am a chiropractor. We do a lot of, you know, chiropractic adjustments, shockwave therapy, cupping, muscle scraping, spinal decompression table, which is wonderful for disc issues, lumbar disc issues, cervical disc issues, red light therapy, you know, your favorite, the sauna. You got to mention the sauna. The sauna's one of my favorites too. We had the cold plunge in here.
He got rid of the cold plunge. I started not to come back, man.
That's it. Yeah, right. Right.
The cold plunge was all.
Hey, I have a good excuse though. The flood, man. Flood in the office. I had to get rid of it. But the Normatec boots and all the other things that we're doing in here. We actually have Jenny Gates. She's a nurse practitioner. She owns her own business, but she works out of the office here. We collaborate a lot. Does functional blood work, hormone replacement therapy, and something that we've been doing. God, we started doing it 18 months ago. The peptide therapy, which has been a really big thing. A lot of really good research and stuff coming out with that. So all in all, man, it's just a really, really cool space to be in right now. Because people are looking for different ways to take ownership of their health, and that's our goal, is to say, hey, not necessarily like rely on us, but our job is to give you the information, the tools that you need to make informed, educated, and confident decisions about how to take care of yourself.
And then 99.9% of the time, man, when you come here, because I come in here sometimes once a week or twice a week, man, whatever, and it's like, hey, how it is right now, just quiet and normal, whatever. It's not quiet and normal, man. And Rivers, he just mentioned the fact of the matter that he's just smile on his face. He's talking to everybody, man. He's moving here. He's speaking to everybody. He's making sure he's making contact with everyone that comes through those doors, man, or whatever. And and I'd be like, man, he's all over the place, but he's taking care of everybody. He pretty much a one-man show. And like say, he got a nurse practitioner that's part of the team, man. His wife is part of the team, and it's pretty much like a family atmosphere here, man.
It is, man, and that was a big thing for us, right? So me and my wife, when we were talking, I have to mention her, right?
Yeah.
You know, she, my whole family support. You know, just my support system. I have the best support system in the world. But my wife, man, she believed in me when all I had was potential.
Yeah.
You know, and she stuck by me and just continued to, you know, I mean, she was working 12-hour shifts as a nurse while she was, 38 weeks pregnant with twins. Even after the kids were born, you know, we weren't making a dime doing what I was doing.
Yeah.
She was the primary, you know.
So she's the real MVP.
Dude, look, and I could not do this without mentioning that, to be honest with you. Phenomenal. Sure. And I do owe it all to her. I mean, it allows me now, you know, she's able to stay with our children, but it takes something off my plate in a different way. And I tell her all the time, I say, hey, this isn't a me thing, what's going on over here. This is a we thing, because without you playing the role that you play and doing what you do, I wouldn't be able to do what I do. So it gives me a peace of mind knowing, hey, my children obviously, you know, are well taken care of, but it's just, you know, the other things that she handles on the back end, man, I don't have to worry about. You know? So and that's, with all that being said, you're exactly right, Mr. Greg. That's what our whole idea was whenever we created this place. We didn't want it to be a traditional doctor's office. I didn't want it to be somewhere to where people come in and everybody's quiet, not interacting with each other. The best thing that we did was create that open atmosphere to where there's conversations going on. Exactly what you're saying. So, man, I'm extremely blessed and thankful in the support from the community. And, you know, our patients trusting us. That's the big thing, man. But that also goes back to the relationship aspect, too.
Yes, sir.
Right?
Yes, sir.
Just being genuine with people. And look, people, I call it the bull crap meter, the bull, you know, but I can't say it on camera, but it's the bull crap meter, man. People pick up on that. You know, and it doesn't take long for someone to be able to say, hey, this is, you know, this guy's kind of just trying to sell me something, or this guy, no, wait a minute, he's genuinely invested in me and my health and wants to see me be the best version of myself. And I think we've done a fantastic job, just that being our culture here.
And that what got me hooked myself, man, because of the fact that, number one, I knew you, and I know your family, you know my family.
That's right.
And I come in and we were going over just the sauna, going over the red light therapy. I had a crook in my neck. I came in, got with Rivers, got with the doctor, the chiropractor. 2 weeks later, my crook was gone, man, whatever. And you wasn't like just trying to make me buy this or sell me this or that. And you were pretty much telling me straight up, hey, well, because I be asking all kind of questions. My wife always get on me asking all kind of stuff, man, whatever. And you would tell me, well, Greg, hey, let's not do that, man. Let's do this right here. Or Greg, let's do this right here, whatever, man. So, and that BS meter you're talking about, man, whatever, it just kept going the negative way, man, instead of the positive way, man.
Well, and that's what I tell people all the time, man. Listen, I'm not a salesman. My job is to not sell you anything. And I tell everybody this in the first initial consultation. I give you the information. What you choose to do with it is totally up to you. Now, I will sometimes, if I know somebody really needs something or can benefit, I may, you know, keep mentioning it time and time again. But at the end of the day, you're never going to find me being one that's all about trying to sell you something, you know. And I keep referencing the whole relationship thing. But I think just forming it like that, you know, the guy, he's a mentor to me in so many different ways. But and it sounds so cliche, guys, right? But the whole treat others how you want to be treated thing, but on a different level of that, right? I know everybody loves their grandma, right? You know, their grandma is the best woman that they know. And he said, if you treat everyone who walks through your doors like they're your grandma, and you give them the same information you'd give her and treat her that way, everything else takes care of itself. And that's so true, man.
Man, you might need to make that a motto and put it up here.
Yeah, right.
Because that's pretty much you saying that. Hey, that's how you pretty much act. Because I come in a lot of times and I'm sitting there or whatever, man, and everybody come in and you speaking. How you doing? How was your day? How was your weekend? And just all that. Like you say, how you would go into grandma's house and you just talk to her, you know, man, like normal, man, whatever. And they just like that. But yeah, man, that's just moving on, man. So you played your senior year at Carolina?
No, I played. So I went my entire career. I played at Batesburg, Leesville, and then my senior year, I transferred to Lexington High School. Played there. Went to Georgia Southern once I left there. Signed with Georgia Southern. Went down there. I went down as a defensive lineman, but man, I had issues keeping weight on. So I went down there and I was about 270 pounds. We ran a 3-man front. I was playing on the end. Just had a hard time keeping the weight on, but it goes back. I was very physical, man. I was never the most athletic guy on the field. Never was the fastest. Never really the strongest, but I played hard. You know. And I was just the physicality was my biggest asset. You know. So whenever that happened, I went down to Georgia Southern. Just like I said, I had trouble keeping the weight on. Got down to about 255 during the middle of fall camp. So lost 15 pounds in a couple weeks, and just couldn't keep up eating calories and stuff, man. So they were like, wait a minute, instead of you playing end, how about we try you at B-back, which we ran the triple option. So old school triple option. So the B-back is like the fullback right behind the, in different terms for every offense. But I played the B-back in our offense. I was never the one going in motion or anything. It was just all straight downhill stuff. So I played that, role that year. And then our head coach at the time was Jeff Munkin. Jeff Munkin's now the head coach at West Point at Army. And once he left Georgia Southern, he went there. So we had Willie Fritz. Coach Fritz came in from Sam Houston State, I believe. He's at Tulane now, I think, or maybe Houston. But long story short, he came in, man, and Georgia Southern been running the triple option for 30 years. He comes in and we're running 5 wide spread, So
that's the dude thing.
I'm looking at it and I'm like, wait a minute now, there's no way I fit into this offense
at all.
So this was back pre-NIL, pre-transfer portal stuff, right? And that really ages me, man, because, I look back, man, it has been a while since all this, but we had to get a letter of release. I'm sure you still do now, but the release, so Georgia Southern would send our release to 5 schools of our choice. So they sent it out to some other schools, South Carolina being one of them, reached out and communicated back and forth with them a little bit while I was in the process of transferring and doing all that. They reached out and I believe they were at a roster limit for the fall of 2014. So I played JUCO ball. I went to school at South Carolina, but I played JUCO or prep school ball at Gray Academy. It was Gray Collegiate or something at the time. Now they morphed into Palmetto Prep or something. That's what it was. But before that, it was like Gray. It was Gray College or something. So I was there, did that, just played football, and then took class at South Carolina just to keep me in football shape. And then I joined the team that spring of 2015. Did that, played fullback, man. Once again, wasn't the biggest or fastest guy, but it was all just downhill physicality, man. You had to want to strap your stuff up and hit, you know. Did that, started in 2015 under Coach Spurrier. We didn't have the best year that year. That was the year Coach Spurrier retired mid-season after, I believe it was the LSU loss. So that was 2015. And then, of course, at the end of the season, what happens again? Coaching change, man. So, of course, I'm highly invested in that. I started, like I said, in 2015 and lettered, did all that. So I'm looking at all the, names that they're talking about bringing in. And, of course, you look at, hey, what kind of scheme did they run at their previous school to see how I would fit in? We ended up hiring, Will Muschamp, Coach Muschamp, and hired Kurt Roper as the offensive coordinator. So I go back and watch some film of where he was the offensive coordinator. I was loving what I was seeing, man. It was all I formation, pro-style offense. And I was like, okay, now I'm going to get to really put my hand in the dirt and get downhill, So that was a big thing for me. But looking at it, as soon as he got there, the first team meeting, Kurt Roper said, we are not going to be 3 yards in a cloud of dust like we were at Florida. Just instant shot to the heart, right? So we break out the team meeting rooms, and I was looking, because when under Spurrier and all them, and Everett Sands, my head coach, I love Coach Sands. He's at Coastal Carolina right now. Heck of a guy, wonderful man. But I was looking at the seating chart and where to go, as far as, because they do stuff different, right? Coaches do stuff different, different systems, different cultures, all the stuff. But I couldn't find my name in the running backs room. So I was like, what's going on? I was like, not again,
I was
right?
About to say,
not again. I saw myself in the tight ends room. And, looking at me, I'm not a tight end, man. Not when we have, and all these guys are my brothers and always have been. But Hayden Hurst, who, 6'6", 250. Jacob August, like 6'7", 250. Kyle Markway, Casey Crosby. I mean, all these guys who are just, superior athletes than me. So I knew then, hey, this, I'm going to have a hard time getting
on the
back
field.
into the mix.
Yeah.
So did some special team stuff here and there. That was the 16 season. And then I graduated in 17. I could have came back for one more year, but man, look, people don't understand. I think they're starting to learn more and more. College football, even high school football is getting to the point, man, it's a grind, man.
Oh, yeah.
And it is day in, day out, 365. So I was like, do I really want to go through all that when I could get a jump start on my career? I considered transferring, playing at maybe a smaller school, just that ramp that I knew would run an I formation type, pro style offense. But after that last game, we played a bowl game down in Birmingham, played South Florida that year. And when I took my equipment off, I was at peace.
You knew it.
You know what I'm saying? I was like, if this is the last time that I do this, I'm okay with it. And y'all know as well as I do, guys, football is so special because baseball, I can go play a pickup game of softball or baseball with my boys, or church league softball or softball leagues. Basketball, you can go play pickup. Tennis, golf, all the other sports. You can't play football for so long.
Once you take that helmet off the last time.
And I see some of these adult pro leagues, and I'm not knocking that, but unless I'm getting paid, I'm not signing up to do all that, man. So football is special, man, in that once it's done, it's done. So like I said, I was at peace whenever all that ended. I'd accomplished what I wanted to accomplish. My whole dream was to play at South Carolina. So to get that opportunity and do it, made wonderful memories, man. I got to take my family along for the ride. They didn't really miss a game, to be honest with you. I don't think my mom missed a game at all, home and away. I don't think she ever missed a game from the time I was 8 years old. So, they got to experience it with me, which was super special. But yeah, man, it was just a heck of an experience. And, like you said, man, it's all part of God's plan, leads you to where you are. Exactly. So I wouldn't change a thing, man.
Exactly. So my only question to you about the whole football career and all that stuff or whatever, if you had all this stuff that you got right now, what difference that would make?
Such a, as well as I do. Already road days, what was it? It was 2 PVC pipes and a PVC pipe running through with holes poked in it. And then you guys, we were in line like cattle. You get water and then you go back. No kid brought their own water bottle down there. There was no real research on hydration, working out, and fitness and all this stuff. So, looking at this now, I think you and I may have talked about it, but it was an article about, I think it was ESPN or something about LeBron James and just talking about how he is, 42, 43?
Yeah.
And still dominating night in and night out, man. And while they were interviewing, he was sitting on a pair of Normatec boots. He had the boots on, and they were asking him about longevity. How are you still doing this? He was like, well, I do hyperbaric. I'm in red light therapy, cold plunge. So you see all this stuff, man. They're longevity tools.
It makes a difference.
It does make a difference. And that's what I try to tell people, especially a lot of our high school athletes. Like, listen, man, I would have lived in this facility had I had this. Exactly. Especially with the way our business model is set up with the membership stuff, it's kind of a no-brainer, man. So getting the people in here, they can really utilize the facility by doing it that way. And like I said, I would have lived in it. And what was big for us at the time was weight room.
That was it.
That's a huge component too. Yeah. Don't get me wrong. But dude, if you're not recovering, the output in the weight room, the output in practice, and especially the output in the game's not going to be there.
Yeah.
And I feel like, not all the time, stuff's changing, but like I said, we did not emphasize recovery whatsoever. I didn't, it was always seen, oh, I got to go to the athletic trainer. No, I don't want to go to the trainer because it looks weak or it looks like I'm, it doesn't look like toughness or something.
Exactly.
But when you get to college, they made you go into the training room. Yeah. You had to go in and do cold plunges. You had to go get TENS unit. You had to go get the recovery stuff. And if you didn't, you'd get punished for it. Yeah. They would make you run extra and all the other stuff. So, I think now we're seeing a huge shift, and it's just research, man, but we're seeing a huge shift in the recovery stuff and how important it is for especially sports performance, but, longevity and just our health overall. So it's really cool to see.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And the recovery part of it, man, because I was just thinking about at Batesburg, we played football. We had that the little tub in the room, whatever, and no one never used the tub, man.
Exactly.
Ever. They never used the tub, whatever. But like now, me being older, just walking or going to the gym or whatever, man, it makes me feel so better when I get the leg compressions. I do the sauna, I do the red light, just whatever, man. Hey, that just helps me It speeds up my
That's
recovery.
it.
And I don't like the soreness and all that stuff, man. And it make the soreness go away a lot faster, man. Whatever. So this modern day medicine that they got going on at RVCRA, man, it's just great, man.
And I appreciate that, man. And that's, we're always, a big thing about us is, and I take pride in this too, is we're always looking for new, innovative ways that we could help our patients, clients, and our members. Which brings it into the peptide therapy, right? Such a big thing right now. And you just look, it's almost going back to the BS meter, right? You have to sift through a lot of this stuff. So I think that when, first and foremost, you got to talk to someone who's really educated and really, up to speed or up to date with the latest research and science behind a lot of this stuff. So looking at it, that's been a big thing for us, a big driver as far as like helping people. And of course, peptides, this is the metabolic or the weight loss peptides. Those are just the tip of the iceberg when it comes to peptides, man. I mean, there's recovery peptides like, BPC 157, TB 500. Those are phenomenal as far as inflammation and recovery. But jumping into, a lot of the other ones, there's, your GLP-1s, and then I'll just call it, it's not really called a GLP-2, but we'll call it that. It's easier to think about it that way. But tirzepatide, and then you go into the retatrutide, which has been absolutely phenomenal for people, man. We're seeing, go ahead.
I want to slow you down right here because me and Canese, like I tell him I'm coming out here to see you. And then we talked about the peptides and all that stuff, whatever. So Canese is asking me questions. I was like, hey, man, I have no clue. You have to talk to Rivers about this stuff. And then you throw it out, peptides. And that's why I was like, hey, hold up a second. Whatever, because
go ahead.
Peptides, when you throw it out there like that, hey, man, it's pretty much Japanese. Or whatever. It's like you're talking, and people don't know what it is. So break down, and I know break down what peptides are and the GLP-1, the GLP-3 and all that stuff, man. Just break it down.
And I'm going to be honest with you, man. It's just a lot of even medical doctors now, and no slight towards medical doctor or any other provider. And obviously, we're not an end-all, be-all. We don't know it all. I'm the first to admit that, man. But if we don't know something, we're going to find the answer. And I guarantee that. I will promise that. But a lot of even providers aren't up to speed on this stuff, man. They're just... And I really feel like peptides, and some of the other stuff like stem cell therapy, it is the future of precision medicine. If you really want to dial your health in, I think that peptides are going to play a huge role in all that. They already do moving forward. So, going back to that, just hitting on some of that, there are different classifications of peptides. Most are familiar with the metabolic or the weight loss peptides. You got your standard GLP-1, which is semaglutide. It's decent. I think it's outdated, in my opinion, to be honest with you. I think it's similar to using an iPhone 5 at this point. That's the best analogy. Then a step above that is tirzepatide. We'll just call, like I said, we'll call it a GLP-2. It's actually a GLP/GIP. Basically, what that means, it works on 2 different receptors. A little bit more effective, less side effects. And then you have the retatrutide, which is what we'll call a GLP-3. It works on 3 different receptors. So that, it mitigates lean muscle mass. It, decrease side effects, and you actually get more weight loss or body weight loss, with that one than you do the other 2, which is huge, guys, because too many people are doing this stuff and they don't have the basics nailed down. You can't outrun the basics. You can't outrun quality sleep. You can't outrun resistance training. You can't outrun a quality diet. And these are all things we hit on with our clients. And, I just tell people, unfortunately, we don't have a little guy on the shoulder in everybody's ear all the time, right? Tell them, hey, don't eat that, or hey, you need to get up and move. It would be nice if we did. But it goes back to what I was telling you, Mr. Greg, is what we do here. We like to help people, or give them the keys to their own health. Ultimately, at the end of the day, guys, my grandfather used to say this all the time, you can take a horse to the trough, but you can't make him drink. I can give you all the information and tools in the world, but until you decide to turn that on and, start making those changes, the stuff's not going to work near as good, and then you're going to get the side effects. You're going to get the muscle loss and everything else that comes with it. So it's been a really bit, man, we've seen crazy transformations in here, and it's really cool to see. We're seeing the weight loss, but what I like more than just seeing the weight loss, obviously we know that the patient, the client, they're becoming a healthier version of themselves. But what we're really seeing, man, their mental health is changing. They feel better about themselves. They like what they see in the mirror. They're smiling more than they were. So me getting to witness that part of it is really, really cool too, man.
Oh, yeah.
Because it's really is life-changing stuff. You know, me and our nurse practitioner, Jeannie, we were talking about, we would put this stuff in the drinking water if we could, man. And I really do think everybody would benefit from it, man, in some capacity, because that's the really cool thing is, number one, a lot of them aren't just weight loss peptides. You know, there's different things, but even that classification of peptides is good for so many different things. I mean, we see it as far as helping inflammation, helping addiction. And that's just the tip of the iceberg, man. There's so much more to it that we're finding out daily with research of how these compounds and these peptides can benefit people in different ways. So, like I said, we've been doing it about 16, 18 months now. And it's been a really good thing for the community too, and for us. And I'm excited to see where it's going.
So you got some success stories that you could tell us about?
Oh yeah, I mean, of course, I can't name anybody, but we you know, just recently, you know, we've seen some starting in October with us lost anywhere from 35 to 40 pounds.
Wow, that's a lot.
Keep in mind, our goal here is low and slow. You know, we're not a clinic, and we're going to dose you up and just tell you, hey, you lost 20 pounds in a month. Great job. But the flip side of that is you lost muscle mass while doing that. That's not the goal. So I tell people low and slow and stay on the lowest dose possible for as long as possible. And once again, man, it's different for everybody. That's what is critically important to drive home initially is that, look, my results aren't your results aren't mine. And you know, this person's results aren't the next person's, and look, what's effective dose for me is different for you and the next person altogether, right? So I think, and I tell people, unfortunately, I don't want to say it's guesswork, and I don't even want to really call it trial and error, but in a sense, guys, that's really what it is. You know, we have to dial that dose in and figure out what's the effective dose, what's the activity level looking like, the nutrition and all this stuff. So, you know, we do a really good job here, I think, of taking that full picture and helping people, you know, make those huge strides in their health. But just like I don't want someone to feel dependent on medication or the peptide, I don't want patients or people to feel dependent upon me. So it's like, hey, like I said, I want to give you the keys to this thing. You drive your own car. You know, I'll help you get it started. You know, we'll tune it up. But at some point, man, I'm not going to be here, you know, and you can't rely on me or any provider for that matter, any person to put you in an optimal position to be in the best health or, you know, your wellness journey or whatever it may be. So seeing that, man, it's been some really, really good success stories. And that's, man, there's been plenty like that, to be honest with you. But that's just one, you know, and there's been more where, you know, lost like 30 pounds, low and slow, such a small dose. Now this one lady in particular that I'm thinking about, she's done everything right, man, as far as her diet, activity and everything, but she's one of those ones that I've seen it in her outlook and her attitude on life has completely changed since she's lost some of this weight. Number one, she feels better overall, but then she feels better about herself, man. And to me, you can't put a price tag on that, especially as a provider in my shoes, because that's why I got into this line of work, is to help people. And when you're playing a small role in that, it's really, really cool to see and be a part of.
And that's just like not only the peptides with everything that you guys got going on right here, or whatever, you giving all the information out, you providing the information for them, and it's up to them to go and look it up and study it.
That's it.
Hey, just go back and research it, and then they can come back and you say, okay, well, I want to try this, I want to try that.
That's it.
Or whatever, man. Hey, pretty much it's going to make a success story. But Cornelius, he had some questions about the GLP-3 or the
retatrutide. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Welcome back to the show, Cornelius.
Yeah, welcome back to the show, Cornelius. You can just let me and Rivers just run off, man.
I mean, because
you good. Hey, it's just been rolling.
The information that's being shared has been phenomenal. And so my wife, she started out at a company named Be Healthy.
Okay.
And she started out on the semaglutide, and so she had to end up kind of backing away from it because it had some adverse effects. It wasn't allowing her to sleep, and like you said, that sleep health is very important. But you've already
answered the question,
expounded on the GLP-1s, and so you see a lot of individuals who are just taking it, but not making the lifestyle changes to go along with it. And so I expressed that, and she'll kill me later, but I expressed that to my wife. I said, hey, you know, you're paying this money, you're going to these places, but there's some things that you have to change yourself in order to match up with what you're doing. Otherwise, you're just giving your money away because, you know, you're chasing something that you're putting back into your body.
That's it.
So, yeah.
And one thing that I see with that, man, that is a great point, because I tell people this: if you're using it as a crutch, and I shouldn't tell people this, but I've seen this stuff, guys, outrun a bad diet. You know, and what I mean by that is I've seen people on these, you know, peptides lose the weight, but yet they still eat like crap. And what it does, it creates dependency upon it. And listen, there are cases to where, like for me, for example, I'll share this. I'm on the retatrutide, you know, between being a dad, starting a business, running a business. I put on some bad weight. I've lost 40 pounds since August of 2025, and I feel phenomenal. Now, what I do, I continue to do the retatrutide, but it's such a small amount, man, because I do have the foundation laid as far as physical activity, diet, sleep, maybe not so much. I could probably get some better sleep, but it is what it is. So you're exactly right, man. Until you dial those habits in, you know, what are you going to do when you do come off of it? You know what I'm saying? So doing that and having that foundation, that's going to outlast everything else. But on the flip side of that, I guess I'll play devil's advocate a little bit. I do see it being benefit to staying on such a small dose, because there's so many other health benefits, even if it's not related, like I was talking about earlier, to weight loss, you know, the inflammation, the other stuff. I mean, you know, so I agree with you wholeheartedly on that. It's, you know, you do have to make those changes exactly like you're saying. Yeah. You're exactly right.
So one of my other questions was not to deter or scare individuals. What are some of the side effects that, as a clinician, as someone who works with this stuff daily, what are some of the side effects that you have seen that are very common? But again, it's different in each and every individual.
That's exactly right. And listen, like I tell everybody, man, there's risk of us walking out to our vehicles, right? Yeah. There's risk. Yeah. And a lot of people don't understand this. And I may be off on the numbers a little bit. I probably shouldn't say this because I'm not 100% sure. But I'm very, very confident that the most overdosed drug in America is Tylenol. So we don't, you know, you don't think that that's the case, but it has more hospital. I think it has more hospital or ER visits than any other, you know, drug. But so yeah, you're exactly right. There are potential side effects or potential risk involved. But I'm gonna knock on wood, man. We haven't seen anything major. You know, and when I say that, and I think I can attribute that to our process, to be honest with you, and how it's low and slow. Like, keep in mind what someone does with the vial outside of here, I can't control that. Now, we do send protocols. We check in, the clients check in with us. We kind of help make decisions when it comes to increased dose and stuff like that. And just speaking of increasing doses, that's really when we do see the side effects. And side effects being some mild GI, stomach discomfort, you know. I tell people you're not going to go down and eat some, you know, fatty, highly processed foods and leave the restaurant or wherever you're going without using the bathroom when you're on this stuff. You know what I mean? It's going to run right through you. So I tell people, though, you know, we typically see that whenever we first start off, and then number 2, increase the dose. But like I said, we try to, and look, some people it affects worse than others. Some people have 0 side effects at all, and they keep on rolling and do wonderful, man. So definitely some risk involved for sure. Like I said, as there is with everything, but knock on wood, only thing we've really seen is the mild GI discomfort.
Yeah. So
go ahead. No, I was going to say with the younger athletes, my son's a avid basketball player, young AAU travel ball player. What are some of the things or what advice recovery-wise would you give someone who's that active? That's, you know, for instance, they played in a 4-day tournament, 3 days. They played Friday, Saturday, Sunday. They made the drive back. He's typically off on a Monday and Tuesday where he's working and schoolwork. Okay. He's back at practice Wednesday and Thursday and Friday morning. They're heading to Alabama for a tournament.
Oh, man, I think, honestly, basketball, one of the most important, you got to get your legs back up under you, man. I think the Normatec boots, some type of compression boots is key. And look, like certain units, you charge the thing up, You know as well as I do, the battery's right there on the way to Alabama. You could do an hour session, kick back in the car, and get the legs back up under you. And look, we lived on those things, and that's where I got the idea from. Because at South Carolina, there were 50 recliners with Normatec boots on the back of them. We would come off the field into the practice or the players' lounge, and there they are, just sitting there, with Xbox and PlayStation. We're playing games and just sitting on the Normatec for an hour, chopping it up with the boys, and not even realizing an hour went by, and there we are getting the recovery in too. Stuff like that, man. Red light therapy, I think, I'm just kind of thinking about some things that we do here. But overall, man, I think staying fresh, hydration, super, super important. I mean, and then obviously one of the biggest, if not the biggest, is sleep and rest, man. Without that, that's when our body gets into that state of healing. That's when our body kind of slows down a little bit and we're able to, regenerate, so to speak. But other than that, man, I mean, those are some big ones. I mean, stretching too. Stretching's super important. Not enough people stretch, and I'm one of them. I can't preach to the choir, but I don't stretch near as often as I should. But I mean, I talk to a lot of these guys who have been doing it for a long time, high level athletes, and they're like, listen, man, pliability, mobility, keeping the muscles loose, all those things, man. I think those are the biggest things. How old is your son?
He's 16.
Okay, 16. Nice. Does he do any other sports?
No, he probably should play football, but basketball's just been his passion.
That's what he wants to do. Yeah. I will say, man, I feel like that is one of the biggest regrets, if I have any. I really don't have any regrets. I'm being completely honest with you, man. Yeah. But if I do have one, I wish I was a multi-sport athlete. I wish I'd have played, tried more, and played more. And I think, college coaches really love that, but it's changed, man. Like I'm seeing kids play AAU baseball, travel baseball, and it's all they do year round. And I love seeing the arguments of specialization and, being a one sport athlete versus the multi-sport athlete. But me personally, I wish I'd have done more in high school. But man, I was so in love with football. That's all I did. It's all I wanted to do. If it wasn't during the season, I was working out 3 or 4 days a week, and that's what it was. So, good question, though. Good question.
And then talking about the two, you say you was 260, 270 in college, and that's a couple years ago, not a couple years ago, but some years ago or whatever. And you down to, you say you lost for like 40 pounds or whatever?
Yeah, man. So when I took my exit physical at South Carolina, because of course, you're under the university's insurance and all that. So you do a whole, basically, I don't want to say a full body x-ray, but I mean, they check you head to toe to make sure you don't have any broken bones, anything torn. That way you can't come back 3 months later and say, hey, I got this from football. Now you're going to have to cover, a meniscus or an ACL repair or whatever it may be. So when I left my exit physical, I was 265 pounds. And, went to school. And of course, guys, you didn't have someone riding you, an alarm waking you up, and people, you got to be at point A all the time. So my last semester of college, I kind of, it's like, man, this is what it's like to be a normal student, right? Like I've never experienced going to class and coming home and doing all that. But so, gained some bad weight, man. And then, between chiropractic school and all that, just wasn't where I wanted to be, and knew I need to make some changes. I think about my children. I don't want to be the dad that's, 40 years old, 50 years old, or the grandparent that can't get on the floor and play with my kids, my grandkids, and everything that we do now. And I tell people this, it's never too late. Yeah. Never too late. Yeah. The worst time to start is tomorrow. Yeah. Exactly. It's never too late. Exactly. But it is a heck of a lot easier if the foundation is built in the earlier years and you kind of stay with it. Just makes it easier, man. So a big driver for me was to, lose the weight and try to get in shape, man. Like I want my son to see me and be like, hey, that's Superman. You know what I mean? So it's a big thing for me, man. Just to set that example for him and my daughter too. But as a man, this is just the way I feel. And my wife does too. But as the man, I set the example and the standard in my household. And without that, I don't want them to look at me and say, Dad, this, it's my goal. My son's going to see me working out. Be like, hey, let's go lift some weight. Then I have to pull out the glory stories, right? Remember when Dad used to rep 315, and then get under there and, break my arm or something. But no, man, it's very important. So, It was a good. It's been and that I'll attribute that too to the peptides, man.
Okay.
Like I said, and
Okay.
I will. It's the Retatrutide.
Yeah.
That's what I was on and still am, but it was a game changer for me.
Okay.
I'm on a stack of
Yeah.
peptides too. I'm on a multiple. My regimen is pretty intense, but I feel good. I feel better than I ever have.
Okay, and that's key right
That's
there, man.
it.
That you feel better than you ever have.
That's it.
So with that being said, have you partnered with any high schools or schools around this way? And the second part to that would be, man, if I would have known this at Michelin, working 34 years, I probably would have had I probably would have been feeling a whole lot better because, and I'm saying that to say you could help those people that's working out there now, working night shift and stuff and all that.
And I agree with that, man. And speaking of the schools, this is on me. I haven't been the best about community involvement, and for me, and it's really no excuse for it, but getting this thing off the ground, man. There's so many moving parts, and people don't. I know a lot of people, and I'm guilty of it too, right? I look at a business, and you just think, oh, there's a business. You don't understand. There's liability insurance. There's software that you have to pay for, all these other things, moving parts of starting a business. It's not just open your doors and hey, it's right there. So we're still really, really young as a business. With me having roots and stuff tied to Batesburg, Leesville. I've talked a little bit with Coach Gambrell.
Yeah,
man, ton of respect for that guy.
Yes, sir.
I mean, unbelievable what he has done.
Yeah, athletic director.
Oh yeah, was he?
Yeah,
was he? Mm-hmm. Yeah, unbelievable. Well deserved, man. Holy cow! I went to, it was a scrimmage or something back in August, and that's the first time I've seen all the new facility, the turf out there, and just the way the stadium looks. Yeah. And man, what it takes is someone to get out there and boots to the ground like he's done, and that's gonna be nothing but positive stuff for Batesburg, Leesville as a whole, the community. So it's really, really cool to see. Like I said, I got a ton of respect for him just for getting the ball rolling and getting stuff in motion, man. He's all the time. He's, from the outside looking in, I'm sure he is. I don't know him that well, but he looks like a grinder, man.
Oh yeah, he is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a lot of respect for him in that too. So
but I needed this stuff 10, 15 years ago when I was at Michelin, man, working day and night.
So you would still be at Michelin right now?
I probably would be, man, if I could be looking like Rivers and they doing all this stuff, man. Yeah. I'll probably stay out there that I'm 70 or 80, man.
No, man, I read some. I was listening to a podcast the other day. It was with the advancement in peptides and just modern medicine, it's, you're almost creating X-Men at this point. You know what I mean? We have the ability to, really pull a lot of different levers when it's coming from blood work, getting the blood work. I think everything starts with the blood work. I will say that because without knowing that, you're guessing. Listen, we can go ahead and say that probably, 95% of the general population is vitamin nutrient deficient. Dude, without the fuel, that is the fuel in the body, your vitamins and nutrients. Without that, you're not going to run optimum anyway, So knowing that, getting that blood work done, which is something that Jenny does here, it gives you the full picture of your health. You know what supplements to add. What supplement, hey, maybe I'm high in something, maybe I need to take a little bit away. You know what I mean? So allowing that full picture, I think that's super, super important, man.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, it's a cool space because like I said, you're seeing people, all walks of life, different things. They're making complete transformations and becoming new versions of themselves. And it's really, really cool.
Yeah.
Really, really
and
cool.
I said they just coming here doing the sign of the red light. And I was telling Cornelius about the vitamins that you put me on, you got me to take or whatever. And I just feel so much. Yeah, I feel so much better. And that was your word. That's his word right there. Game changer.
That is my word. Game changer. Game changer.
Yeah, but I come in and we talk about he's like, man, that's a game changer. Yeah. I started doing the sauna. Man, I come in and the sauna is really, to me, the sauna is like cheating because it's a workout.
That's right.
I left out of there that first time, man, and I got in the truck and I sat in the truck for about 5 minutes just trying to pretty much get my strength back. And I'm like, what's going on, man? Whatever. I'm drinking water and all that stuff, man. And I went and did some research on it. And I was like, it's pretty much like a workout. It's going to get your heart rate up. Hey, you're going to be tired. You're going to detox and all that stuff. I was like, okay, well, that's cool. So now I'm coming. And then, he gave me the vitamins or whatever. Looked them up. Hey, man, did some research on the vitamins, man, whatever. And I started taking those. And I just, in the morning, I pop up in the morning, man. I'm good. I put the vitamins in me, and I'm good pretty much all day, man. Whatever, and pretty much they won't let me just sleep, 8-9 hours how I used to sleep, whatever, because I just have to get up, man. Whatever, but it's definitely a game changer,
man, and that's what I tell people that it's without proper nutrition, that's one of those other big keys, right? So, and I do, man. I noticed the vitamins too, and I got to thank Jenny for that. Jenny, she put me on those, but I notice when I don't take them.
Yeah, me too.
And all it is vitamins and nutrients. Yeah. And I notice when I don't take them because my diet is decent. It's not the best, but I do notice when I don't take those, and they've been a good thing for me. But my word is game changer. I do use that a lot, don't I? Yeah.
Speaking of which, we've come to a portion of the show, and I told Greg, I said, hey, we got to do either or with Dr. Rivers Bedenbaugh. So let's go back to, like you said, your love and foundation for football.
Okay, let's do it.
As a head coach, you want Marcus Chestnut or Will Muschamp?
Oh, man, you can't put me on the spot. I would say, I love Coach Will, Coach Muschamp, but I will say this, man. Love Coach Chestnut. God, I got all the love in the world for him, man. I'll never forget. And this is going back to the kind of impact, right? I know in either or we need to make this thing quick, but Coach Chestnut, there was a banquet up at the Leisure Center, and I don't forget what it was, guys. It may have been like defensive MVP or something that I won. I don't forgot, but he told me, he was like, if this kid keeps it up, we're going to see him playing on Saturdays. And that stuck with me from the time I was in 5th grade on. And I still think about that, man, that someone had that kind of belief in me when I was 9-10 years old. Yeah. And I mean, he didn't say that for everybody that won an award up there. So the fact that he saw something in me. So, I got to give love to Marcus. So if he sees this, Chestnut.
Hey, listen, if I could tell you some of the stuff, we can't say it on the show. He just told me he wasn't the motivation. No, that's a big, huge person in my life too, man. So,
Chestnut, hey, he hasn't changed at all.
Well,
I've been telling him to come see you.
I see him every now and then, man. I used to see him a good bit up at Mr. B's up there off 39, so I'd see him up there a little bit. But God, it's been forever since I talked to him. I haven't talked to him in a while.
Okay, so another either or. A good workout in the gym, managing that with family time, or a sauna session.
Oh, probably
I'm going sauna straight up.
Yeah, I mean, it depends, but I'm going to say, for me, a workout, man, there's nothing like getting in there and pushing myself a little bit. Now, listen, I don't lift crazy heavy or anything anymore. I just go in there and get a good sweat. But then at the same time, look, sauna's a chance for me to, kind of relax a little bit. It's big for me to shut off my brain and kind of get my bearings back and prepare for the day, because I typically do mine early morning, 6 a.m. So, it's but I guess if I had to choose workout, get a workout in.
Okay, you got any either or questions, Greg?
I didn't
because you know Doc a little better than I do.
So and I pretty much
Hey, let's try this one: Clemson or Carolina?
Oh man, no question. Gamecocks,
we're gonna block that out.
Gamecocks. Man.
So can I tell you a true story about Greg? He won't tell you this. A few years ago,
it's been 2 years.
It's been 2 years ago. Okay, when Lenora Sellers kind of made a fool of the defense, the Clemson Tiger defense. My daughter's she's going to nursing school at USC.
Okay. My wife's a nurse, by the way.
Oh wait, so I need to link them up. But my daughter and I were watching the game at home, and I happened to go live on the podcast. And anytime I put anything out about the podcast, you always see Greg is tagged, and he took it down. He literally took the video down.
No, you didn't. You had to, huh?
I had to, man.
And his excuse was, hey, that had nothing to do with the podcast.
It had nothing to do with the podcast, not me.
Lenore Sellers did it with purpose.
Yeah.
What he did? Hey, he didn't do that with purpose, man. He wasn't doing that with purpose.
That's right.
He wasn't doing that with purpose.
I just called that. I like that.
He wasn't doing that with purpose.
He did it with purpose, man. On purpose.
Yeah. He did it on purpose now. He definitely did it on purpose.
Phenomenal. Speaking of this, phenomenal athlete. My goodness, man. And I hate to see, look, and it goes back to what we were talking about earlier before we got on here, and I don't know the coach, so I can't say anything about it, but a player doesn't take that much of a dip in productivity without it being some kind of scheme related. So man, he's really cool to see and watch. And man, I played with some really, really good athletes during my time over there, man. Some phenomenal players. You know, I sit back and look, and one question I get a lot is, who is the best player you've ever played with?
Okay.
And you know, man, that's such a hard thing for me to answer. Now, best overall athlete probably has to be Hayden Hurst.
Okay.
I mean, you know,
I mean,
well, because a lot of people don't know, some people do, but he got drafted out of high school to play baseball first.
Oh,
So
for real? I didn't know that.
he played for the Pirates organization for a little bit. Came back after a 4-year stint in baseball, walked on to the football team at South Carolina, and you know, 3 years later, he's a first-round draft pick. Plays 8 years in the NFL.
Yeah.
But man, as far as football players, y'all are gonna appreciate this one. Shaq Rowland, man. And that is no joke, dude. Like, and I mean,
straight
just
dog,
dude, I mean, phenomenal athlete and one of the best football players. I mean, just the way he would high point a football, the trajectory, the catch range. I mean, unlike even while I was there, because he was gone when I got there. But you know, I played with Deebo Samuel. I played with Pharaoh Cooper.
Yeah, man.
I can't come out and say that he better than those guys, on the podcast. But
he was like that, man. I remember those games going to next level.
I saw it firsthand, man. And phenomenal athlete. I saw him probably last year, man. I'm glad to see he's doing good, but just phenomenal athlete, you know. But I tell everybody that, guys, in conversation. They ask me, who's the best athlete, who's the best player you've ever been around? It's either a guy's been, Hayden or him, and I mentioned that, heck of a player, Leesville guy. You know?
Oh yeah, for real. Yeah, I hadn't seen him in a while. I saw him Little League football season. He came down to a Little League game.
That's where I saw him too, at a River Club, some jamboree or something like that.
Okay, then. So
I think A-son, Adrian.
Oh man,
his son's nice too, right?
He's a little dog too, man.
That's look, genetics, man. Genetics.
Exactly.
That's what I told him. He runs just like Adrian. Yeah, I saw that.
I was like, man, you done spit this kid out, man.
Right.
Because he do everything that they did in Little League football. He does it the exact same way, man. So just not an either or, but like a typical relaxing day for Dr. Rivers.
Mm-hmm.
What would that consist of?
Oh man.
Or there is no relaxing days for that.
We find some time, man. But I mean, what I get the most joy out of my life right now is slow weekends, slow afternoons, like an ideal day for me. How about that? An ideal day is a cool, crisp fall morning. I'm turning on the grill, cooking some breakfast or smoking some meat all day long. I got college game day in the background. My kids are playing. I'm spending time with my wife and my family. Because, guys, I really don't do much. I'm a homebody, I sit at home a lot, spend time with my family. Just because, man, look, life's taught me that every moment is precious. And I don't do a good job of it all the time, but my sense of gratitude, I try to really exercise that gratitude muscle a lot. Just things I've been through in my life where it's, losing my father, losing my grandfather, other things I've been through. Just taught me, man, look, life's precious, dude.
Oh yeah.
And you better enjoy every single bit of it, because you just never know.
Yeah.
You never know. I mean, I tell my wife every time I get home, I may not tell her this every time, but the greatest blessing, man, is pulling up into your house after a long day at work.
Yeah.
Like, I made it home.
You're
not guaranteed to get back home, man.
Yeah, exactly.
So, leaving out for the day and then getting home and doing that's such a blessing, man. And it's, a lot of people take it for granted until you can't.
Yeah, exactly. And then seeing the kids, hey, when you pull up, they running up to you and just all that.
And it's, it's dad mode, ready to play. So sometimes my wife's like, I'll pull up to the house and I'll take a minute or two to come inside because I'm
trying to.
You know what I mean? Yeah, and I know what's going on. I know what I'm walking into. I'm walking into being a jungle gym and a wrestling mat and everything else. Being dad. So she's like, "What are you doing?" I said, "Just give me a second. I'm coming in." So. But man, look, it just goes back to that impact, right? You walk in the door. I don't want my kids to see dad. Oh, he's tired. He's worn out. He's this. No, man. When I get home, I'm ready to go. I'm ready to play.
Exactly.
I want my kids to see that in me. Versus coming home, dad's bummed to be home, Speaking of that, man, that's been the best part of, or the best season of my life so far after everything. It's not chiropractor, football player, or anything. It's dad, man. My kids, I have twins, 4-year-old twins at home, and They are,
Everything.
they're my reason, man. You get up and everybody always told me this, but life changed as soon as they were born. It was a big thing for me. It's like, man, I got 2 mouths depending on me now, and having one of each. I have a son, so modeling what a husband, a dad, a father, and a man, I have to do that. But then I also have to show my daughter how the standard for what she needs to accept as far as being treated. Exactly. And that's all directly tied to me, man. So, and listen, guys, we're not perfect. Us men, nobody's perfect. But, man, I think these conversations are so important because you realize, man, we're all kind of think the same way of like, wanting to really, it's just cool to see, man. It's cool to see.
Oh, yeah. And that's one thing that got me, and I tell Canadians through the 34 years, man, I knew I had people that were dependent on me. And I had my family portrait in my locker or whatever.
Yeah, man.
And I go in there and I look at that, man, because it was plenty of days I wanted to walk out of there and I'd be like, hey, no, this ain't for me, man.
That's
it's
right.
for him. Or whatever. So that pretty much got me through.
That's what I tell my wife too, man. I was like, none of this stuff, because look, I'm not a materialistic person, man. The worldly things don't impress me that much. I mean, I'm not, not a clothes guy. I'm not a, or anything like that. I have no real goal of anything I really want to buy, except time and freedom. I think that's the biggest thing, is being able to spend my Monday afternoon with my children, or my Wednesday, like this afternoon, I get to go home and be with them. That's what I'm after. So, and I tell them that too. I tell my wife, everything I do, man, is every decision that I've made from, the time that I decided to propose to her, every decision from here on out has been about, my family or future family. And it's a big thing you take on,
Oh, yeah. That's something that my wife helped me to learn in terms of, one, she taught me how to be a dad to my daughter a lot better than I probably knew how to be. And so my daughter, young age, go get her nails done, and she elbowed me and said, hey, mention her nails, and mention her hair. And
that's
like,
right.
Okay, I didn't realize those things, because that's not something that I had.
That's right.
My son, I was on him like a T-shirt. I was
him.
So it's a little different. But I quickly learned that kids at that young age, and even my son who's 16 and daughter 20, soon to be 21, they spell love Time. That time.
That's it.
And so it sounds exactly, you mimic and you live that through just your conversation, how you spend that with your family, and then family first. Because at the end of the day, I had a mentor in the military, Big Mac. God bless him, and he's gone on to glory. But he told me one day, he said, when you take off the uniform in the military and you hang it up or whatever, the only people that are going to be standing there are your family. If you lose everything today, the only ones that are going to be standing there with you is your family.
That's right.
And sometimes we can tend to put them last when they ought to be first. And so kudos and my hats off to you.
I appreciate that, brother.
And definitely, it's just been a phenomenal experience. And just looking around the facility here. RCVR. Can you tell us what that stands for?
It actually stands for Recover. So we were going to name this place Recover, but it just, we wanted something kind of catchy and different, man. So we took out all the consonants. So we took out all the consonants and just were left with all the, we took out the vowels. I apologize. I'm not an English guy, so y'all forgive me. But so we just wanted something catchy, something kind of more modern, and, just kind of a little bit different, a little bit of edge to it, because what we're doing here is different. So we needed something to kind of reflect, the uniqueness of what we're doing.
I thought it stood for Rivers Can Vouch for Recovery.
There you go. There you go. I may have to use that too, because people ask me all the time, what does it stand for? They start thinking, trying to get my wife's initials and stuff. I'm like, no, it stands for Recover. I mean, we call it Recover, but we say RCVR too. I mean, it does. Either way, man, hey, anybody come in here, man, and we would do our best to take care of you and get you on the right route. So I appreciate you guys, man. I do. Like I told you originally, I appreciate y'all. This has been a really good thing.
And this is your official invite for a high school game day. You pick a Friday that,
Let's do it.
Pittsburgh having a high school game. We like to have you on as a
Let's
special
do it.
guest.
Let's do it.
Talk football, even more in depth, because I'm sure you can remember your Friday nights.
Man, listen, and that's guys. Look, my passion is football, and I told Greg this before. I said, listen, an ideal situation for me is at some point I'd love to coach high school ball. I don't want to be a head coach. I don't want to do any of that. Just let me be an assistant, man. I I've been around some brilliant football minds. I feel like I know a lot about the game, and you know, you get me started talking about ball, man. It's hard to get me stopped talking about it.
Coach Gambrell.
Coaches who are watching this.
Coach Gambrell, you heard it here first. Man. You heard it here first, yeah.
Oh yeah, man.
We got an opening down there.
That's right. That's right.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but nah, man. With that being said, man, a great show.
Yeah.
Man, just telling us all about the facility, hey, what you got going on,
Yeah.
everything that you offer here, everything that you do, just pretty much tell everybody how they can find you, social media, they want to get in contact with you, just all that.
So yeah, man, I mean, social media, of course, that's the biggest driver, guys, right? I mean, we're on Facebook under RCVR Modern Wellness. Of course, you can call the office line 803-892-7287. And man, listen, you know, family atmosphere, people text and call my personal cell all the time.
Yeah.
It does not matter to me, man. Yeah. I mean, I'll do my best to answer you right away. Chances are I can't, but I will do my best to get back to you.
Oh, yeah.
So, you know, we're at 4416 Augusta Highway in Gilbert. So, you know, we do take not necessarily walk-ins, but someone can drop in. We'll give them some paperwork to fill out, schedule a consultation, come back and go through all that, and get them squared away. So that's about it.
Man, it's a one-stop shop, man.
It is.
You can pretty much get everything you need dealing with your health.
Yep.
You can get it right here, man. And like you said earlier, you mentioned, if you don't know it or you can't get it, whatever, you'll find out something about
That's
it.
right.
Whatever. Because you're willing to help pretty much anybody that, not necessarily just health issues, but just being, and I told Cornelius earlier, and I think, man, you talked about it, just making people being the best that they can be, feel the best that you can feel. In your latter years or whatever.
That's it, man.
Yeah, even the young people too, man. As far as
%.
performing or whatever. So with that being said, man, Dr. Rivers Bedenbaugh, Doing It With Purpose podcast, man. And our motto is, if you're not doing it with purpose or passion, man, you're not doing it all. And we can see that Dr. Rivers Bedenbaugh, he's doing it with purpose and passion. And that's pretty much what we're here for, man. To put this out there for everybody to see what you're doing for the community, for anybody that want to be a part of this or whatever. So that being said, any last words, Cornelius? You good? So all hearts and minds are clear. Rivers, you good?
Yeah, hey man, yeah, like I said, I appreciate you guys. Thank y'all, enjoyed it.
Yes, sir. Oh yeah. So that being said, man, God bless. Good night.